That's right, baby. We're back at it, taking another look at the Smash roster. I mean, come on! Last time I did this, I talked about which Smash characters on the roster could drive, and you guys seem to absolutely love that video. So today, we're going to keep it themed with the holidays and see which characters on the Smash roster made Santa's nice list this year, and which ones are getting a lump of coal in their stocking for Christmas. Yes, I know, you don't need to tell me. I realize Christmas was 2 weeks ago, but I don't care. I still want to make a Christmas video. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, by the way! Yay! 2025! When I did which Smash characters can drive, I basically looked at every form of media that character had ever been in, and then used that information to fuel the video. However, that was way too much last time, so this time we're gonna stick to just what I can find in their games. So what am I holding you here for? What am I doing? Come on, we gotta get going. Let's get the show on the road! Mario is everyone's favorite jolly-natured Italian plumber. Throughout his games, Mario spends his time saving the princess, killing bad guys, and eating a lot of food. No matter what kind of propaganda MatPat uses to try to gaslight me into believing that Mario is a bad guy, I can't see it. I mean, I just see him as this happy-go-lucky dude that's doing a good thing for the Mushroom Kingdom. Although there might be something to say about Mario saving a bunch of princesses and then sliding the one that he doesn't want over to his younger brother. We'll let it slide. And because of that, Mario makes the nice list. Yoshi is about on par with something like a dog. I mean, he basically gets treated like a pet within any Mario game he's in. His species single-handedly saved Mario's life, and Mario has only repaid them by dumping them into pits. But despite that, he still works with Mario like nothing ever happened. Because of that golden retriever-like innocence, he deserves a spot on the nice list. Luigi's basically on par with Mario, except nicer. I mean, he does basically everything Mario does, except pass his sloppy seconds onto his brother. Plus, most of his own games involve him saving Mario in some way. Take, for instance, Luigi's Mansion, or Mario is Missing. So for being a great brother and everyone's favorite scaredy cat Italian, Luigi makes the nice list. Peach is usually just used as a damsel in distress in order to give an excuse for Mario to go on some grand adventure. But she does have her special moments. I mean, I think she got a game earlier this year, so yay, go her. But overall, she hasn't really done anything to put her on the naughty list. To be fair, she did lead Mario on for about 32 years, starting from the original Super Mario Bros. Just to get to Super Mario Odyssey and reject his wedding proposal, so that's not great. But I don't think that's enough for her to be considered bad, so we're gonna throw her on the nice list. Daisy is definitely the better princess within the Mario series. I mean, she got captured once and hasn't been captured since. Some people should really be taking notes right now. Yes, I'm looking at you. Get your crap together, please. Daisy doesn't really make too many appearances within the mainline Mario games. All we really see of her is that she's good at sports, likes party games, and is definitely the dominant one in the relationship between her and Luigi. But she seems cool, all things considered, so we'll put her on the nice list. Bowser has kidnapped princesses and fairies, taken over multiple kingdoms, decimated towns, framed Mario, lied to his son about his mom, turned toads into bricks, ate Mario and Luigi, and attempted to take over the galaxy. Naughty list. Dr. Mario hasn't really done anything except for kill viruses in all of his games. In fact, that's literally, I think, all that he's done, so nice list, I guess. Wario is literally built to be an anti-Mario. We constantly see him doing all sorts of crazy stuff to Mario and the gang in order to sabotage them. The only way for him to win anything is to cheat, and so you would think by cheating all the time he would be good at it by now. You would be wrong, it actually hasn't worked a single time. Plus, the only thing he really cares about is money. Don't get me wrong, I'm always happy to receive a crisp $100 bill from grandma every year at Christmas. The difference is, I won't rob my grandma at gunpoint if she doesn't give me the $100. Wario goes on the naughty list. Rosalina and Luma have a kind of important job, you know, they just like rule the galaxy, so I would kind of hope they're on the nice list. We don't really see Rosalina and Luma too much within the mainline Mario games, outside of 2 games where Mario yet again saved another princess. Actually, is Rosalina even a princess? Is she a queen? Yep, she is. Okay, I just had to double check and make sure before I had some Rosalina stans like shouting at me in the comment section. And by virtue of doing pretty much nothing and protecting the galaxy, she gets to be on the nice list. Bowser Jr.'s a brat. I'm not a fan of toddlers. They're menaces that run around, don't listen to anybody, are way too loud all the time, and are brutally honest. There's only 2 types of people in the world that can get away with straight up calling you fat, and that's toddlers and elderly people. Hey, did you know you're fat? That's good. Oh, did you know that your dad isn't even your real dad? Yeah, your mom slept with another guy. Isn't that crazy? She ruined your whole family and Bowser Jr.'s on the naughty list. Piranha Plant's a weird one for me. On one hand, I want to say that he's on the naughty list because he attacks Mario and the gang, but at the same time, he's a plant. He's just doing what he's naturally designed to do. It'd be like saying a lion is naughty because it kills zebras to survive. So since it's doing its natural instinct, I'm gonna ignore its survival skills and say that it goes on the nice list. Is what I would say if this plant didn't have sentience. I mean, look at that smirk. He's not innocent. You think a plant looking like this is innocent? Absolutely not. He's going on the naughty list. Donkey Kong is another weird one because of his love-hate relationship with Mario. When he's over at Kong Island doing his thing, minding his own business and fighting King K. Rool, he's fine. The problem arises when he decides to come over to Mario's land and just start stealing things from him or kidnapping Pauline. But then he also does those exact same things, except now it's a joke with the woman that he kidnapped. I don't know, it's kind of confusing, but he did also kidnap and steal as not a joke, so we're gonna put him on the naughty list. Diddy Kong, on the other hand, does not have the same illustrious criminal record that Donkey Kong has. In fact, I can't actually think of a time that he's done anything that would be, you know, naughty list worthy. In the games that he is a character in, he's basically just a playable side character. But outside of that, he's only really called upon when they need somebody to fill in a spot on the party roster. So because of that, I'm gonna say he's on the nice list. King K. Rool has basically dedicated his entire life to terrorizing the Kong family. Now that I think about it, I don't even know why he does that. So I just looked it up, and the reason is because he wants to steal their banana horde and take over the island? The island part, sure, whatever. Go take it. What is a crocodile gonna do with a giant pile of bananas? Crocodiles don't even eat bananas. What in the world would he be doing with the banana? Oh. Anyway, he built a giant laser to blow up the island too, so definitely on the naughty list. Link, Young Link, and Toon Link are all gonna be put together because they are the same person. Link is pretty much the definition of a hero. He spends his entire life fighting Ganon in order to save Zelda and the kingdom. I don't even think there's really anything that's ever painted him in a negative light either. So I guess Mr. Goody Two-Shoes gets a spot on the nice list. Sheik and Zelda are also the same person, so I will also be putting them together. And just like Link, she hasn't really done anything to put herself in danger of being canceled. The only difference is that Link gets more screen time, so maybe she's not happy about that, and Offset behind the camera, she's angry and fighting him over it. But that would all just be for assumption, and based off of what I do know, Zelda and Sheik are fine. They go on the nice list. Ganondorf has attempted on multiple occasions to take over the world and gain unlimited power. I don't really think much more needs to be said about that. I think it's pretty self-explanatory what list he's going on. Samus and Zero Suit Samus are yet again, say it with me, the same person. Woo, yeah, good job. Samus used to be a space police officer before she became a bounty hunter. Usually when you hear the word bounty hunter, they're not really a great person, but with Samus, she's more or less just a vigilante. She might have done some shady jobs in the past as a bounty hunter, but with the knowledge that we do know, she's on the nice list. Dark Samus is basically just a reincarnated evil entity, and if that isn't enough for you to put her on the naughty list, she basically committed the highest degree of identity theft. I mean, she's literally just a one-for-one carbon copy of Samus, curves and all. I think it's safe to throw her in the naughty list. Does anyone else forget that Ridley is supposed to be a space pirate? Like, that's fine. Well, I guess it's not technically fine because for this video, it means that you're on the naughty list. But like, I don't know. I just can't see Ridley as anything but like a mindless dragon. Anyway, I don't really know that much about the Metroid lore, but with a title like Space Pirate, I can't imagine you're doing anything great. So we're gonna put him on the naughty list. Kirby is literally a walking marshmallow. There's no one at home in that brain of his. Kirby knows two things, and that's swallow everything he sees and save the world. Plus, he's adorable. I mean, come on, look at the way he's waving at the Waddle Dees. It's so cute. I will happily be placing him on the nice list. Meta Knight is a tough one. He's usually viewed as an antagonist within the Kirby games. I mean, Kirby is forced to fight him many times throughout the series. But he really isn't a bad guy since all of his intentions are good. While his actions are, albeit a little extreme sometimes, his whole goal is just to protect Dreamland. So while he may not be the best at actually executing his protection plan, at least his heart's in the right place, so we'll put him him on the nice list. King Dedede, however, has the energy of a spoiled and disgustingly rich only child who thinks that he is the greatest thing since sliced bread. I mean, King Dedede rolled up to Dreamland one day and was just like, "Hey, you see all this? All this? It's mine. It's mine now. All right. Yeah, that's cool." It honestly does hurt to put him on the naughty list, though, because I really do like the character. King Dedede is probably one of the funniest characters, not just in Smash and Kirby history, but in video games as a whole. But his comedy can't really save him from his selfish and dictator-like tendencies, so he goes on the naughty list. Fox is kind of like what I imagine every kid aspires to be like. A super cool spaceship fighter pilot with a hot girlfriend that goes on super cool adventures. I think the only thing that makes me not want to be like Fox is that I'm not a furry. However, if being a furry means that I get a chance with Crystal Fox, I might need to take it a little bit more seriously. All of that aside, he hasn't really done anything heinous that I know of anyways, so he goes on the nice list. Falco's like a wannabe cool guy that pulls it off sometimes, but then other times just looks horribly stupid. I do like how they're able to show off his different attitude and reckless nature through his final smash. You know, it gives him something a little bit more to like actually set him apart from Fox. He reminds me of like an angsty teen archetype, you know, like the star quarterback of the football team in all those high school movies back in the 2000s. But outside of being a little cocky, he does protect the universe, so he should deserve a spot on the nice list. Wolf is our second space pirate in the video, and to be fair, I think it's a much more fitting representation of a space pirate. Wolf is such a cool character. Did he commit treason and steal a bunch of stuff? Maybe, but that doesn't stop him from being sick. I see him as kind of like a Han Solo type character. Well, when Han Solo was older anyway, younger Han Solo was just a douchebag. But by default, I gotta put him on the naughty list. However, if I could make one exception, it would be him. So for all the Pokemon and Pokemon Trainer, I've kind of decided to lump them into one big group. I feel like no Pokemon is inherently evil, and they all just are wild animals living off their natural instinct. The only time we see them doing bad things is when Pokemon trainers train them to do said evil stuff. The closest we get to an evil Pokemon is Mewtwo, but that's totally justifiable considering all the things that humans did to him when he was in that little tube. Which brings us to Pokemon Trainer, who also isn't inherently bad. Some Pokemon trainers definitely are, but this one in Smash doesn't really seem like he's brutally abusing his Pokemon, so I guess we'll say he's good for now. And that's just like the first normal kid that we've talked about so far. Well, actually, I guess he has all the psychic powers, doesn't he? So I guess he's not that normal. He's normal-ish. I'm not about to sit here and act like I know anything about Earthbound lore. I wouldn't even touch that game with a 39.5-inch pole. Get it? It's like the Grinch song, because this video's Christmas themed, so I had to throw a little Christmas reference. Come on, it's funny. Ness saved the world, which automatically puts him on the nice list. Lucas is a lamer version of Ness. I mean, let's just be honest. The only thing that I like more about him is his little snake buddy. Or is it a worm? I don't really know. Is it a worm or a snake? Lucas can also be on the nice list, I guess. Captain Falcon, as far as I can tell, is like the only good guy within his game. I don't really know the lore that well, but every time I see a new F-Zero character, they're always evil in some way. Captain Falcon is easily the coolest Smash character on the entire roster. I mean, just look at the guy. I know we've had some beef in the past. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back and watch these two videos. They were made by a really sexy and handsome dude, I hear. I don't know. That's just like the things I hear. Anyways, Captain Falcon is on the nice list. How about that shameless self-promo, huh? Wasn't that pretty... Hey, what are you doing? Go to the next character. What are you... Ice Climbers are on the nice list. I still don't know what you guys expect me to say about these guys. It's hard to go in depth when their game is literally just a more advanced version of Doodle Jump. So just like with Pokemon, I'm going to be lumping all of the Fire Emblem characters into one group for three main reasons. Reason number one, all of the characters are heroes within their respective kingdoms, and because of that, they all easily deserve a spot on the nice list. Reason number two, I basically know nothing about the Fire Emblem games. I've never played any of them, so I don't know any of the lore or anything about any of the characters. The only thing that I really know is that there's that one controversial picture of Lucina in a swimsuit or something. I mean, I've never seen it before or anything. Stop, get that off. Reason number three, I'm lazy. Moving on, Mr. Game & Watch is probably the hardest one I've had to do so far. He has so many different handheld games, and all of them are completely different gameplay. You have good ones like Fire, where he's rescuing people from a burning building, and then you have ones like Safe Buster, where he's actively trying to rob a bank. You know, there's worse crimes you could commit. I think that his good deeds outshine his bad behavior, so we're gonna say that he makes it on the nice list. Pit is literally an angel, so of course he's gonna make the nice list. It's his job to be nice. Actually, the more that I think about it, that's a terrible argument, because the last time we had an angel turn bad, he turned into the king of hell. Luckily, that's not Pit, so he stays on the nice list. Dark Pit is literally an evil version of Pit. If you can't guess what list he's gonna go on, that's a you problem. Palutena is a goddess. I mean, look at her. Yes, slay queen, get it? Oh, and she's also literally a goddess. All of my comments on Kid Icarus characters are going to be pretty vague. I know next to nothing about their lore, and to be honest, I didn't even realize that they had more games out of the one back in the 1900s. But judging on what little information I do know, she seems fine, so I'm sure she's good to be put on the nice list. Snake, on the other hand, is somebody that I know almost all of the lore about. I actually know so much about Snake that the last time I talked about him, I didn't even realize that I was talking about the wrong Snake, because I didn't even know that there were multiple snakes to begin with. I mean, my game knowledge is incredible. Snake does do some pretty brutal things at times, but it's all in the sake of saving his country, so I guess we can probably write it off as good and put him on the nice list. Sonic is probably my least favorite pretty big video game mascot. This blue hedgehog is the cockiest thing in existence, and for no reason. Every Sonic game since like Sonic 3 is trash, and yet he still continues to talk like he's the greatest thing ever. If we were talking about the movies, I would probably like him a little bit more and give him a little bit more benefit of the doubt, but we're not. Because of my personal hatred for him, I'm putting him on the naughty list. Olimar is what I imagine elves actually look like. Although they'd probably be more of a reasonable size, you know, something that's not smaller than a strawberry. Olimar seems like a pretty chill dude, although I have to say he does have at least one big red flag. He may or may not dabble in, oh, I don't know, a little bit of like slavery, but I'm pretty sure this is less slavery and more of consensual servitude by the Pikmin. So he's good to stay on the nice list. Rob is I think he's good to be on the nice list. Both Villager and Isabelle are good people. I mean, your whole goal in Animal Crossing is just to be a functioning member of society. The only real villain in that game is the good-for-nothing raccoon that keeps taking all of my hard-earned life savings before I can even do anything with him that's productive. Sorry, got a little emotional there. But we're talking about Villager and Isabelle, and they go on the nice list. Mega Man is literally just an advanced AI that's programmed to do what he's doing. So I guess it falls back on the argument like Pokemon, where he's not inherently himself bad, but theoretically somebody could make him bad. But from everything I've seen him do, he's on the nice list. Also, his moveset sucks. This has nothing to do with the video. I just wanted to throw that out there. Wii Fit Trainer is and probably will always be the weirdest inclusion in the Smash roster. I mean, sure, she fits right in with the crew. You know, gods and knights and yoga trainers. She's definitely not a criminal. However, some of the moves that she expects me to pull off should be considered a crime.
Is this good? Is this good? Am I doing it right? Is this the move? Is this how you do it?
Wii Fit Trainer is on the nice list. Little Mac goes on the nice list. There isn't enough substance in his games to argue that he shouldn't be on there. Although some people do say that he's racist because every person that he fights is a different race. To me, I feel like that actually makes him less racist because that means he doesn't discriminate about who gets a beat down next. Just say it. The Mii Fighters are an interesting one because in most scenarios, they would definitely just go on the nice list, no questions asked. However, if you design the Mii to look like you so that you could be in Smash and feel all cool, then all of the responsibility is on you now. Were you naughty or nice this year? Your actions are what determine the Mii Fighter spot. For now, though, I'm just gonna throw them on the nice list because we're just talking about the generic ones, so. With Pac-Man, I'm beginning to realize that a lot of these characters don't have enough substance within their games to go into a deep dive to see who's naughty and nice. Like, most of these characters are nice just purely because we don't know that much about their personal lives. All Pac-Man does is eat dots, and unless those dots are, like, kids or something, he's fine. He goes on the nice list. Then you got characters like Shulk and Pyramithra who put their lives on the line to save their entire world. I think Santa needs to start making like a super nice list for the people that go above and beyond, you know, like saving planets and stuff. Speaking of which, I helped someone get something off the top shelf at the store the other day, so I think you all know what list I'm on. Duck Hunt is a dog and duck combo, and if you are even considering that they don't go on the nice list, then that means that you don't have a heart and that you hate animals and you don't think that all dogs should go to heaven, and that's bad. Shame on you. So I gotta admit, I've never played a Street Fighter game before, and because of that, I didn't realize that Ryu and Ken weren't enemies. Like, I thought these guys hated each other because Ken did something bad to Ryu. Turns out I was very wrong, and they are actually hashtag besties, and they just like to beat the crap out of each other on occasion because why not? So I guess the consensual fighting lets them stay on the nice list. Cloud saved the world. Nice list. Sephiroth tried to destroy and blow up the entire planet. Naughty list. Those are probably the easiest ones to place in the entire video so far. I mean, it's kind of easy to make that call when, you know, one of them is deciding to try to blow up the planet. Bayonetta is kind of similar to Meta Knight, not in the fact that they both absolutely dominated the games that they released in, but in the fact that they're just trying to protect things. The only difference is that Meta Knight's trying to protect the entirety of Dreamland, while Bayonetta's just trying to protect herself and her friends. Like, she fights evil and everything, which is great, but she doesn't really do it for people. She just kind of does it to save herself. So her actions are overall good, just albeit a little bit selfish, but we'll put her on the nice list. Inkling comes from a series that I didn't even realize how big it was. Like, I know what Splatoon is, but apparently over in Japan, like, it is a huge deal compared to over here in the US. However, the only type of media I really see as Splatoon is when I'm scrolling through Twitter and I happen to stumble across an interesting piece of art of the Squid Sisters. Well, I guess it's X, but does anybody call it X? I don't know. I don't go on Twitter too much. Or X. Am I Xing? What is it called? What is the verb? Anyway, Inkling goes on the nice list. Simon and Richter, I'm assuming, are good. I mean, I don't know too much about their games, but I do know they go around being all big and buff and killing every single monster that they see in sight. And throughout the entirety of history, there haven't really been too many bad examples when it comes to people who are killing monsters left and right. So I'm just gonna say that they're good and they go on the nice list. Is Joker schizophrenic? I mean, I'm joking, but just like, what are they fighting? People will go around telling me on one hand that he's just a regular high school student, and then on the other hand, he's a crime-fighting, monster-killing hero in a different world that's parallel to his own universe. I don't know. I don't really get it, but it's pretty cool. So we're gonna go ahead and say that cool people go on the nice list. Speaking of series that are massive in Japan, we have Hero. I had no idea Dragon Quest was even a thing until Hero became a character in Smash. When I watched the reveal trailer for this guy, I literally had to pause the video and start researching where he came from because I had no idea. But I mean, his name is Hero for a reason. I mean, he goes and saves all the worlds that he's in and all of his different games. What are they at, like 11 or so now? Hero makes the nice list. Banjo and Kazooie are the only things stopping Gruntilda from unleashing who knows what upon our world. Look at Gruntilda for a moment. Yeah, we have a lot to thank them for. The last thing I need is Gruntilda roaming free because she is the thing of nightmares. They have easily earned their spot on the nice list. From everything that I can find, Terry is the main protagonist of Fatal Fury. I know literally nothing about this game. I just think that he's really cool, and that's why I like to play him in Smash a lot. I'm beginning to realize that I like to play all of like the big and hot and burly men. Purely a coincidence, I swear. Apparently the bad guy in Fatal Fury killed Terry's dad or something, and so now Terry's trying to get into the tournament in order to kill him. So, you know, that's murder. However, this is justified revenge in my eyes, so I think that he can go on the nice list. Min Min is a fighter in the arms tournament. That's pretty much all we know about her, outside of the fact that she works at a ramen shop, which, you know, doesn't help with this investigation whatsoever. So, as such, I don't really have that much to say on her. She goes on the nice list. Steve is about as flexible on the good and bad spectrum as you can possibly get. Mainly because he's completely under the influence of the player with no set personality traits by his developers. Most people utilize Steve in a way that's really cool, and they make all these giant sick builds and contraptions. Others? Well, The main goal of the game is to get to the end and kill the Ender Dragon and free everybody, and everybody's happy, yay. So that in and of itself has the spirit of goodness, so we're gonna say that he goes on the nice list. So I tried to look through the Tekken lore to figure out if Kazuya was bad or not, and can I just say that what is going on in Tekken? I think trying to learn more about the Tekken lore actually made me more confused than not knowing any of it at all. I did gather one thing though, and that is that Kazuya is definitely not a good guy. When I looked up all the bad things that he did, I conveniently stumbled across a big old resume that I will read to you now. Attempting to kill his own father multiple times, orchestrating attacks against innocent people to gain power, manipulating others for his own gain, experimenting on humans and animals, and being directly responsible for the death of Jun Kazuma, whoever that is. That was one of like the billions of characters that I read about, and many more acts of evil. I'm just gonna write him down for the naughty list. Sora is definitely the easiest character to place on this entire list. He's probably the most pure and kind-hearted character in all of video game history. Partly because he's written that way, and partly because he has a multi-billion-dollar industry breathing down his neck to act that way, or else. I've never played a Kingdom Hearts game, but I would probably consider it if a new one came out. However, with how things are trending with the latest Disney films, maybe we can just push off the Kingdom Hearts game for a little while longer till we get things, you know, back on track. And there we now have a complete list of what the Smash characters got for Christmas this year. I really enjoy making these Smash roster videos and seeing which people have done what, and it's super intriguing to me. So if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to let me know by leaving a like down below. Also, if you do enjoy my content, please consider subscribing. I mean, it is totally free, and you get to see me all the time whenever I post a video, and I'm super cool, so I know you want that. Oh boy. And what list was your main on? Was he getting presents for Christmas, or was he getting left cold for Christmas? Alright, let me know down in the comments below. I gotta go golf, so I'm trying to crank this video out fast. I'll see you all next time. Thank you.